Welcome to the Mercedes Wilson Show. I love talking to folks that have a testimony, but also that love to talk about the parts of their journey that help them make it through. Today, my guest is an extraordinary woman and has a story to tell. Join me as I sit with AI, the Anomaly.
You're amazing. There'll never be another like you. Captivating and sharing the things that really matter to you. When the weight of the world gets too heavy, take a ride with Mercedes. Be in the know on the Mercedes Wilson Show. Sharing the things that really Mercedes Wilson Show.
Welcome to the Mercedes Wilson Show. AI, the Anomaly, has a ton going on, but makes sure to give back to her community in a big way. Her work is indisputable, and I am so excited to have you here. Welcome.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate this.
Oh, yeah. So we have a really good topic, but I want everybody to know who you are. So who is AI, the Anomaly?
AI, the Anomaly. Well, I'm Aitina Fareed-Cooke, stage name AI. AI stands for all in because that's what I want to do with my life. Give everything that I have. I think that that's the whole purpose, you know, to give everything that I have. You know, I'm just a human being going through this life and gave my life to God, and I see what I need to do in my life, and that's what I'm striving towards.
And I admire women that do what they do but still have a family, because you're a mom,
Yes.
you're a wife,
Yes.
and everything that you do, you're still mommy.
That's right.
You know, so I love
Forever
it.
will I be a mommy. That's it.
I love it. So when I asked you about what you wanted to talk about, you said pain, passion, and purpose.
Yep.
Why? Like, was that the first thing that came to mind?
Yep.
And let's talk about the pain part, because you have a testimony. I want the world to know your testimony.
Yes, absolutely. Pain starts from my upbringing. I was born to a woman who was addicted to drugs. Beautiful woman, I look just like her. And she's very intelligent, very smart, a go-getter, but she had some voids in her life that she filled with drugs. Me, my sister, and my brother were placed in the foster care due to neglect. Unintentional neglect on my mom's part, but yet we were placed in the foster care, and then when I was 3, we lost our mother due to an overdose. So growing up, it was really difficult. Looking in the mirror, I looked just like her.
Yeah.
Not really understanding or feeling like I know where I come from.
Right.
So my response was to get into trouble. So I got into a lot of trouble that caused pain. My foster mother later adopted us when I was 7, but all 3 of us.
Yeah.
She was in her 50s. She adopted us, kept us engaged, kept us just being involved in different things within the community, because she felt that we needed that. Very firm and a church-going woman. We went to church all the time. The pain also there is I kept getting in trouble,
Yeah.
causing her pain, which caused me like this weightiness of like, I just can't get it right.
Yeah.
I just don't know what's going on. We were diagnosed as emotionally handicapped, so it was tough to express like, I feel like this.
Yeah.
So
Now, I've never heard that diagnosis.
yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's an interesting diagnosis. They said that emotionally handicapped due to the trauma that we endured as young people, as children. So it was difficult to try to put some words together on how I felt, but there was
Yeah.
this one counselor who said, here's a pen, here's some paper, write it down.
Yeah.
And that is where I started this writing process to put the pain into something, you know? So yeah.
I saw a video that you posted. It got me. It got me. But one of the things you said and you expressed in this is that you were convinced that you were God's greatest mistake.
Yeah.
Now, I've heard people say, you know, my parents, I was a mistake by my parents, but I've never heard anyone say you were God's greatest mistake.
Yeah.
Can you take the viewers through that video and what you meant when you said that?
Well, being a young person, experiencing the heaviness and the emotional roller coaster ride that's within yourself, but not knowing how to say, like, I feel like this.
Right.
And then trying so hard to do good. Let me go to school, let me do what I need to do, but then hitting a brick wall and getting in trouble again. And then my adoptive mother coming into the school, having to get me out of school. I'm suspended, formaled. Finding out at 7 that the man who would come and visit wasn't my father. It was just my brother and my sister's father. And then discovering like, well, where's my father?
Right.
Like, what happened? And what's going on? What's the shift?
Right.
I was convinced that when my mother had me, everything fell apart.
Really?
At 7. I was 7. And I concocted this idea that if she didn't have me, everything would have been fine. Because it wasn't until I came about that things got disastrous, that she
That's what
got
you
involved.
felt.
I felt that.
Right.
That's what I felt, though.
Right.
You know, was it true? I don't know, but that's what I had in my mind, and that's what I had in my heart.
Right.
And then because I understood who God was and his greatness, his power, we went to church all the time, and I thank God for that. But starting to see how powerful he was and how much love he gave, I began to think, well, there's no way in the world that you would create a being to go through so much pain. That's because I didn't understand.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But I had that on me throughout this childhood.
That's heavy.
That's very
That's a heavy
heavy.
thing to carry.
And so now that I look at it, I understand, oh, that's why I was getting in so much trouble. That's why I was causing my adopted mother so much pain. That's why I was choosing these things, because I had this heaviness and I didn't know how to express it.
Right. Now, I talk to so many people that have been adopted or been in the foster care system. Can you give a quick word of encouragement to them? Because like you said, there's something that happens when you don't know where you came from. You don't know your parents. Can you say something to them that may be struggling? Say something.
I'd say you have to keep pushing. When I was in those moments, yes, it was heavy. It was very heavy and very dark, and moments where I wanted to give up. But I don't know. Well, I know now.
Right.
I just had to keep living to finally get to the point where, oh, that pain was to make me stronger. That pain was to be able to have something to be able to understand others' pain.
Right.
This story was given to me, though it was tough, though it was heavy, it was given to me to be able to sit here and to say, hey, I made it through, and I'm strong, and I'm standing, and I'm here, and I'm yet coping through those issues. I'm not perfect. I'm not all there.
It's a process.
You know, it's a process still, but I'm moving through it. And I am putting all of my eggs in that basket of God. I have, like, God is my strength. I'm all in because I get it now. I get the point. And everything that I do, I must keep going because this is the point. To share my story, to share the testimony, to live out the example of Christ.
So you start writing.
Start writing.
What happens when you start writing?
It became a safe haven, a sanctuary. Writing became that space where I can just be free, and I can hide behind the characters that I wrote. And no one knew that that character is you. No one knew that. I could hide behind it. I could create words and put them together and piece them together to create this space in which people they liked what I wrote, but I was safe. I was telling my story without saying that's me in my story.
But I'm sure you're speaking to so many people right now, because when I was younger and going through things, I used to write and create characters. It does something for young people that are dealing with so much. And I'm sure you're touching some people right now. I'm sure you are.
I hope I am.
When did that writing turn to something a little more?
When I began to start sharing it. I remember I was in 7th grade when I wrote my first play.
And wait a minute, you were writing plays in 7th grade?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
And what I love the most is that there were teachers who encouraged me. Like, oh, you're a great writer. You should do this. Okay, I'll do that. Oh, wow, this is really good. Why don't you, here's the resources to make this happen. So they allowed me to make this play. It was called Rich Kid. I'll never forget it. And I wrote this thing, I developed it, and then I got everybody together and we put a show on the stage. And I starred in the show Of course, I had to write myself in there. So I'm on stage and I'm going through the process. I'm like, wow, what else can I do? And so poetry. And then the idea of sharing what I wrote began this whole new journey, sharing the play and then sharing the poetry.
Yeah.
And then seeing people like, wow, that's really nice what you shared, or that's impactful.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is a tool that can influence or encourage other people.
Right.
You know, that's what's like, wow.
So your pain turned into passion.
Yes, I began to find that passion. It wasn't just writing, it was photography. As a teen, I was still, even with this like new sense of understanding, I was still going through my things, you know?
Yeah.
We don't just like, oh, writing, yay, now my life is all better now.
Right.
You know, I discovered photography through a program called SEPA Gallery. There was this other program, Yo Buffalo, that helped youth within the community to give them opportunities, job readiness, skills, all types of things and all types of resources. But I was led to SEPA Gallery and I learned about photography. And then that opened up a whole new aspect and a whole new world. You know, the dark room and being able to process photography in the dark room. It just spoke to me, the chemical process.
Right.
Just like life, like going through this chemical process or this process where I'm growing and developing into something that's magnificent and artwork.
And that was my question. So on the inside, what is going on with you?
Man, on the inside, there's a lot of different things. There's still questions. But I had something to hold on to. I had something that allowed me to speak. I found my voice.
Yeah.
I had writing, I had photography, I had video. And I was able to take the pain and take all of these emotions, and I was no longer handicapped.
Right.
I had the ability to go and do. I was able to do.
Right.
And find that thing, these passions, you know, and for a long time I'm walking around with these passions and doing it. I didn't realize that was the purpose.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And then that's where that other element or that other part of the story began. You know?
Right. And how did you incorporate the relationship part with God? Because as you're talking about the photography and you're talking about the dark room and you're talking about, I'm sure there was some crazy stuff going on the inside of you.
Going on, I gotta be honest, during that time, I was a teen, I was going through things still. I knew who God was, but I had made a conscious decision not to follow God.
Really?
So I did have these things and I was able to express myself, but I felt that I can't be perfect, so I can't follow God.
Right. And when did that change for you?
That changed when I got pregnant.
That'll do it.
Got pregnant. Yep.
That'll do it.
Because I knew that there was a human being that needed me, that needed all of me. And I needed to be educated. I needed to be financially fit. But above all, I needed to be spiritually fit. In order to give everything that I could to that child, I needed to be the mother that I felt like I didn't have. I had my adoptive mother, and she was brilliant and great.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be that strong woman for my son.
Right.
Yes.
So you teach the youth. What do you tell them about the passion piece? How to find their passion?
A lot of times I ask them what are they drawn to, and most young people respond with the arts. I like to write. I like to draw. I like to dance. I like to do this and that. And I tell them to hold on to that and to work through it, walk through it. You know, and that could be their passion. We don't know yet.
Right.
We don't know yet. It's something you're drawn to, and you can develop that. Whatever it is, I tell young people all the time, try things, try new things.
Yeah.
And you know, it may lead to that passion. Like, yes, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to, invest my time into.
Oh, that's good. You stay here because we still have to talk purpose.
Yes.
And oh, that's good. It's going to be so good. You stay with us too. We'll be right back.
Ever since I made my first beat, I knew music was a passion. Along with the beat makers in my company, I get to share my passion. Music is a way to dream, and now I get a chance to make dreams come true. Welcome to Soundmaster Beats.
Tune to LCTV 1301 on Spectrum Cable for local talk shows, sports, entertainment, and special events in our communities. We also bring you the best gavel-to-gavel local government meetings and an opportunity for you to talk with your local officials live on TV. Program LCTV in your favorites button on your remote. Watch live or DVR LCTV channels 1301, 1302, and 1303. For the best in local programming, it's LCTV. For more information, go to www.lctv.net.
Restore your body, beauty, and soul with Capriceology.com, providing wellness and ministry services for your church and family with master herbalist, iridologist, and conference speaker Caprice Butts. Are you as healthy as you want to be? Nutritional help is just a click away with online wellness packages and consultations. Or grab your friends and book a wellness workshop for your church group. Plus, get daily inspiration to revive you from the inside out. Restore your body, beauty, and soul with Capriceology.com. Subscribe today for a free wellness guide.
Welcome back to the Mercedes Wilson Show. I am still here with AI, the Anomaly, and we get to talk purpose.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We've talked pain, we've talked passion. So there's a lot of young and seasoned folks that struggle with finding their purpose. What are you saying, or what say you to the young and the seasoned folks on purpose?
I would have to speak to like my own personal walk and discovery. And for me, that's through faith.
Right.
Now, my purpose is within God's will. And God's will for us as Christians is to spread the gospel.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That's my purpose.
Yeah.
So I just use my passion to push the purpose.
That's
so
a good way
if it's
to put it.
photography, if it's writing, so music, my music is
Are we gonna talk music?
My music is going to center around pushing that message. So with all the lyrics that I'm putting out, it's going to be pushing that message in one way or another. Through the programs that I put together, working with youth, that's going to be pushing that message. But above all, my family at home. That's
Talk about it.
Purpose, right?
Right.
My husband, my son, and my daughter.
Yep.
At home in my walls in my house. Like, I'm not perfect.
Right. But charity
But I'm
begins
striving
at
towards
home.
perfection.
Right.
Right, that's the first ministry, right? That's the foundation of our lives. That's purpose right there as well.
Right.
So I want to be healthy. So I had to focus on, well, what are some issues that I'm dealing with that's blocking me and my husband being able to have the best relationship?
Yep.
What's blocking or getting in the way of me and my children having the best, time together? So I have to read the word. I have to study. I have to make sure that I'm always at God's feet. If I make a mistake, if I fall, if I fail, get back up. Encourage myself.
Right.
Look in the mirror and keep going and pushing. Be the example so that my family can see the example. And then outside of that, showcase.
Right.
This is who I am.
After that.
Yes,
then
because that's the foundation.
Right.
Because if everything else can go away and dry out, and if you're not getting any more accolades, if people not standing up, and if you're not getting likes on social media and shares, my husband got me.
Right. Right.
My daughter and my son, they're gonna look at me like no one else is gonna look at me. That's my foundation.
You
so I
just
have
gave
to
a
make sure I
sermon.
gotta keep that
You just
straight.
gave a sermon. That's good stuff.
It's just real though.
It is.
So that's my purpose. So when I say pain, passion, and purpose, I went through some pain. I endured. I pushed through. It wasn't easy. It was tough. I wanted to give up. And then I learned about these different things that helped me along the way.
Yep.
But above all, God was that aspect that I needed, that secured me, that I knew wouldn't waver and wouldn't change. Understanding His will, I had to develop that.
Right.
And then now, this is what I do. I go all in because that's my purpose.
Yeah, and you go all in for the youth too.
Yes, I
because
do.
I want to talk about what you do in the books that you brought. Because the good thing about everything that you're saying is you've been there, done that.
Yep.
And God has brought you through. So now you can recognize it in the youth that you serve, and you can help them be the best that God has made them to be, right?
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
talk to me about the books that you brought and explain what you do with the youth.
Yes. So Get Focused Productions is a business that I began, and the main 3 points is capture, teach, and give back. Capture through photography and film, teach youth about photography and adults about photography and its power
Yeah.
to be able to tell stories and then give back. So with the programs that I do, I teach youth about the basic photography skills. Key point, have them work together, collaborate, critique, peer
Yeah.
critiques, and learn how to capture photography or capture images, also tell stories, learn how to edit those stories. And then I design a book, and each one of those students gets to go home with a book.
Right, right.
Which is great, and they're really excited about it. It's beautiful watching their faces when they see me come in with the books. They're really excited because they work so hard.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
they work so hard. A lot of them don't know anything about photography, so it's a skill that they just learned and developed, and then boom, here's the
Right.
end result of the
Right.
work that you put in. You know, I think it's just a beautiful process. So yes, I work with the youth, and then with every contract that I earn, proceeds of those contracts go to a movement that I started called Young and Focused. And so I look for young people who are motivated and self-encouraging, and I try to invest in them. I highlight them through photography and film, and you know, if they have a business, I talk to them about that, and then I invest. I
Yeah.
take those dollars and I ask them what do they need to get them to the next level,
Yeah.
and I try to invest into what they need. I was tired of seeing young people getting in trouble, hearing stories about young people getting locked up. I kept complaining, but Shirley Chisholm said, you can't stand on the sidelines bickering and complaining, you got
Right.
to implement
Right.
ideas.
Right.
Young and Focused was that idea. Let me be quiet and find
work.
individuals that I feel are going to be encouraging to the next
It's true.
generation.
And you have it in you because you went through this
Exactly.
stuff.
I was highlighted. That's why I highlight young people.
Right,
That's
right.
what helped me. That's why I am here.
Right.
You know?
Let's talk music.
Yes. Oh yeah, the music. So like I said, writing was great. It led me to music, hip hop. I loved it. The way people could tell stories and put words together is like a puzzle.
Right.
You know, and I enjoyed it. And then
And you're good at it too, girl.
Thank you.
Good. Go ahead.
Thank
I'm sorry.
you. So
I'm sorry.
I would write lyrics from like Biggie and Tupac and all different types of individuals, and I would rehearse their songs, and then I would take their songs, put it to the side, and try to write my own within the same cadence or within the same beat. Then I developed this like, oh man, I love this, and so I fell in love with hip hop.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so I discovered as time went on that you could tell stories through music
You
as
sure
well.
can. Yeah, you
and
sure
so
can.
we'll fast forward to now where I use that to benefit the kingdom.
Yeah,
You know,
right,
I try to
right.
tell stories not only about like how God can save, we know that, but also like encourage yourself.
Yeah.
Also, you know, this is where I came from and this is where I am now.
Right.
Also build community. Work together, do
Right.
better, stop
Right.
complaining, move forward, you know,
Right.
you know,
Right.
save your money and give back. Those types of things that I want to be in my music. And when I talk to young people, I tell them that as an artist, as a hip hop artist, I get to choose what I talk about.
Right.
All of us, we all
Right.
do. So pay attention to the words.
Yeah.
What are they telling you? And what are you going to fall into doing? So anything that I say, if you follow what I'm saying, it's going to benefit you.
Right, right.
You
And
know.
we have a gift for our viewers.
Awesome.
Because we're going to play your video East Side. Give them a
East
little
Side.
bit of information on how you made this video, how
Mm-hmm.
this song came about, and then introduce your video.
Awesome. So East Side, I wrote that to be to shout out my side that I grew up on, the East Side, the side that everybody deems as, you know, rough or tough, and it is. But there's diamonds in the rough. I'm one of them. So I wanted to shout that in my hook, being that that's the song that I stepped out with as being the signee, like the first woman signee of God Over Money. I wanted
Congratulations.
everybody, thank you. I want everybody to know where I come from. East Side, 716, Queen City. I wanted them to know where I come from.
Right.
So I wrote East Side. If you listen, it's a lot of arts things that I'm throwing out there. Just the introduction of who I am lyrically, but who I am and what you could see coming from me. So here's East Side. I don't know where to look. There, look. Go check out East Side. Hey, is this art? Aye, aye, aye. because I want to paint. Can I paint?
Watch the canvas get splattered. I scribe lines with the truth. Paint portraits like Frida Kahlo. I bind bars with the glue. So man, gleep with the ink. My loose sleeve with the flu. So clearly I am artistically sickly with sticky lyrics, but none of that matters. The flavor that made them better. Peppered in all my passions. Through canvas reveals a platter. I'm not the only deceptive. Are we creatures so devious in it seems delusive under the sheets? Disguise a city as schemes. Society rest in peace. Pieces of wicked arteries, crevices of our speech. Power welcome to greed like I want. For the love of money whisper I want. Couple tens, couple 20 singing I want. Copper pins, copper villa screaming I want. Couple threads, all designer, copper palace by your island. More you fancy your desires, more you stitching up your eyelids. Who that little lady from the east side? AI the anomaly. Who that little lady from the east side? AI I'm going all in, all in. Who that little lady from the east side? 716 Nickel City where I come from. Who that little lady from the east side? AI I'm going all in, all in. They not ready for this lyrical lioness. I annihilate any rhythmical rudiment. I am anomaly. And I've been tryna grind, been tryna move in. I'm a whole different breed, call me the new kid. I don't follow the groove, I follow the blueprint. My part of the truth, molding my life, ink in my pen. Yeah, they got the truth, but I'm tripping acrylics. Stitching this image, I'm dipping the scriptures, I'm fully submitted. Yeah, I'm all in it and authentic. I'm all driven, I'm all cause, I don't involve gimmicks. Yeah, he cleared the canvas and cleaned the cameras and did his business. Lift the pallium, place his prop on the podium. Dip the brush in the palette and painted purpose in all of this. Who that little lady from the east side? AI the anomaly. Who that little lady from the east side? AI I'm going all in, all in. Who that little lady from the east side? 716 Nickel City where I come from. Who that little lady from the east side? AI I'm going all in, all in.
Wardrobe for the Mercedes Wilson Show was provided by Clothes Mentor in Tonawanda, New York. Grade A looks for less.
God isn't interested in our perfection. That's not possible. He's interested in obedience. He's interested in you showing the world who his son Jesus Christ is. We live in a fallen world and people need to see the God in you. Your pain fuels your passion, and your passion helps you reach your purpose. Allow God to take our imperfections and he get the glory out of it. Don't be ashamed of what you've been through. Instead, use all of that to drive you to your knees and ask God what to do with it. In Psalm 16:11, it says, "You make known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand." God knows the path for your life. The fact that he knows the path means that we need to lean into him for direction. And also because he knows everything about us, he understands the pain that we have endured. Our God, our creator, knows exactly how to use you for his glory. I hope today's show on pain, passion, and purpose has blessed you like it has me. Be sure to follow AI The Anomaly. You will be blessed, I promise you. And we are praying continued success in Jesus' name for her. Thank you for allowing me in your homes today, and I pray God's blessing over you and all that you hold dear in your hearts. Learn more about this show, fill out forms to be a guest, and give us your show ideas at mercedesewilson.com. Also follow me on all of the social media handles at Mercedes E. Wilson, and don't forget to check out all of the shows via YouTube and my podcast. Share this show with someone you love, and thank you for tuning in to the Mercedes Wilson Show.
You're amazing. There'll never be another like you. Never be another like you. Captivating and sharing the things that really matter to you. Really matter to you. When the weight of the world gets too heavy, take a ride with Mercedes. Be in the know on the Mercedes Wilson Show. Sharing the things that really Mercedes Wilson Show. Sharing the things that really matter to you. Things that really matter.